Here's Downton Abbey, season 4, episode 6. Once we think that we got everything kind of figured out and we're kind of progressing and moving, we take a step back, and this is what this episode is all about. Let's go back to Edith, because Michael is missing in Germany. Nobody knows where he is, and of course Edith is wondering, wait a minute, I had sex once and I'm going to have an immaculate conception, I'm going to be pregnant, perhaps, or maybe I'm giving something away here, I don't know, but it looks to appear that may be the case. The immaculate conception, it's one shot and you're done, kind of a situation. But Robert, who we thought was kind of changing in the last episode, is now perturbed because there's so much change on Tom's part, and Mary is taking along, and Robert feels that it's 2-1 against him, and the old generation is not getting its fair shake, and pig farming of all things. So what's going on here is that you got Evelyn, you got Charles Blake, you got some other people. Evelyn, what a goofball name that is, but they're all in love with Mary, and then there's going to be this whole romp in the mud with Mary, and because they're going to invite her to the States for Robert's birthday, and then Rose invites a black man to basically appear at the Downton. Oh my God, a black man at Downton Abbey! What are we gonna do? And so, of course, Rose, and I guess his name was Ross, Rose and Ross. I don't know why they came up with that, but they're gonna, of course, they're not just friends, they're romantic at the same time. So that's even more surprising. So what's going on with Mary is that Mary is the focal point of season 4, where she kind of has a saying to Rose about like how far she can take things, and Mary kind of like understands how she's very political in many ways, where she understands the steps to take, where you can take a leap, but you know that you're probably going to fall if you take your leap. So if you want progression, just take some steps. Slow and steady wins the race. That's sort of what Mary kind of is smart enough and astute enough to realize, where Rose is still young and she kind of like wants to jump and move things ahead to the next century where they're still 1925. So Mary's understanding that things are basically progressive. She doesn't have a problem with what Rose does, but she understands that politically it's not a good move, and Mary's very political. And so this is what's going on. So maybe what this episode really is about basically about you can't go too quickly on things. People are still who they are. They're hard to change, or they don't even change at all. Society changes them, the world changes, and they just have to adjust to the change. But they still really don't change, and that's sort of what this episode is about. That's my review.